Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. In this tutorial, we'll be learning how to create a pop-up content. As you can see from the screen, this is our button. When I click on it, it pop up this box. As you can see from the screen, pop-up text. So when I click on it again, it disappears. So when I click on it, it pop up. When I click on it, it disappears. So we're going to learn how to build this pop-up content using HTML and CSS with a little JavaScript. So let's start now. So to start now, let's go to our Visual Studio. We'll be using Visual Studio for it. Let's go to our Visual Studio. So this is our Visual Studio. So let's create a file. I will delete this and start all over again. So we want to create the file now. The first file that we are going to create is our pop-up HTML file. Let's name it popup .html, and we also have another file named CSS file popup.css. So we have our two files here, the HTML popup.html file, and we also have popup.css. So let's continue the code now. The first thing to do now is to write our HTML like this. Document type HTML, head, our head tag, our body tag. Then we close the HTML. We can change the title to popup. Then let's come to inside our body tag. We have a div container, a div. Then let's class the div. Let's name it popup container. Popup container. So we'll be having a button, that click button. So let's name the button click. So inside this button type we have button. So on click, we are going to introduce a function to it now. On click function now, pop up is a function. Pop up. So the next thing to do now, so we inside the div, the pop-up container. So the next will be having another div. We'll be having another div. We'll be having another div. So let's class the div. Let's class it and name it. Let's name it pop-up. I can name it any name. So let's name it pop-up. So inside this pop-up, we'll be having a text. A text inside this pop-up. Pop up. Sorry. P. We'll be having a text, a paragraph, and just write anything that you. Let me just put pop-up text. Pop-up text. So let's save our file now and go to our browser to check. Let's reload our page. So as you can see now, we have click here and we have pop-up text here. So let's go back to our code and style our pop-up. We need to style our pop-up now. Let's go to our popup.css file. So inside our popup.css file, so we'll be having our class, this class, popup container and popup. So the popup container now, pop.popup container dot popup. So you can copy and paste it so that there will be no mistake. Let's copy popup container and come to our CSS file dot popup container. You paste it. So our popup container now. So in our popup container, we'll be having margin left. So our margin left will be 200 pixels. So let's save and check. So before we go to our browser, let's go back to our HTML. So here now, inside the head tag, so let's have a link. Let's link our CSS file to our HTML file. So link style sheet. So let's revise it now. Let's revise it. So we have popup.css. Then let's close our link. Save our file. Let's save our code now. Then go to our browser. Let's reload. So as you can see, nothing happened yet. So let's continue our code. Let's go back to our code. So let's go back to our CSS file. So inside our CSS file now, let's go to this pop-up, this class pop-up. You can copy it, then you paste it in the CSS file .popup. So let's style it now. Text align, center. Let's save it. Then the width 400. Height, we have the height 400 pixel. Background color, let's choose green. You can choose any color that you like. Then color, let's choose white. Let's choose white. So the display now, display will be none. But for now, let's display equals block for now. So we'll change this later to none. So let's save our file now and check. Let's save our file and check. Let's reload our page. Let's reload our page. So as you can see now, we have it now. We have it here, pop up. So when we click, nothing happens as you can see. So let's write a JavaScript to toggle the click button. So let's go back to our code. So then we change this to display none. We change this to display equals none. Save our file. Then go back to our popup.html. So inside our popup.html, after the div tag, the closing div tag, we'll be writing a JavaScript script. So from here you see we have this pop up. We have this pop up function pop up. So you can copy it. On click function pop up, you copy the pop up. So you come to the JavaScript here. So you can write function pop up now. So like this. So the first thing to do now is to give here. So we'll be having an ID here in the class pop-up. You include an ID. You can name the ID. Let's name it pop-up. So let's go back to our script. Function pop-up now. Then function pop-up. Inside the function pop-up, our var. Let's name it pop-up pop_up. You can name it X, so it depends on what you want to. Pop_up equals document dot get element by ID. And what's the name of our ID? The name of our ID is this ID pop-up. So you put it here, pop-up semicolon. So the next now is to write a condition statement code. If this pop-up pop_up, if pop_up now dot style dot display equals none, equals none. Style.display, okay, let's change it to equals block. So here will be 3 equals because we are writing a JavaScript. Equals block. If it is equals block, Then what's next? The next thing is that popup underscore up dot display dot style dot display dot style dot display will equals none. Will equals none. Will equals none. So x popup dot style pop underscore up dot style dot display equals block. So as you can see from here, if pop underscore up dot style dot display equals block, so pop underscore up dot style dot display equals none. Else the popup dot style dot, that means this document dot get element by id, this id here, this class popup, this id will be none. So we can save our code now and go to our browser to check. So let's refresh our page. Let's reload our page. So as you can see now, when we click on this, as you can see, it display. And when we click on it again, disappear. Click on it, visible. Click on it, none. So as you can see from the screen. So viewers, try to subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed to my channel, so that I will be able to post more video. If you have any comments, try to comment in the comment section below so that I'll be able to reply to your comments. Thank you.